Good morning, my Real News Media TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning, and I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a productive day. And in the news this morning, security guard charged with abduction after taking child from institution without permission. The police have charged a security guard with the alleged abduction of a child from an institution on West Guango Crescent in Kingston on Tuesday. She has been identified as a 31-year-old Saskia Aaron, a security guard of Mona Common, Kingston 7. Reports are that about 1:30 p.m., the complainant went to pick up his child when he was told that someone had already collected the child. The police said further checks revealed that Aaron's reportedly took the child without the parents' permission. She was contacted by the child's mother, who met with her on Waltham Park Road, where the mother took the child and jumped from Aaron's vehicle, the police said. A report was made to the police, who commenced an investigation. Aaron's vehicle was intercepted and she was arrested and taken into custody, where she was later charged. Police arrest a man who allegedly severed hand of child's mother. A man accused of severing his child's mother's hand during a domestic dispute in Petersfield, Westmoreland last Friday has been charged. The police have identified him as Ashroy Johnson of Shrewsbury District in the parish. The news understands that Johnson and the 21-year-old woman had an argument over a cell phone. Reports from the police are that both the parties had a domestic dispute where the suspect confronted the complainant and used a machete to chop her right hand, completely severing it. He also slapped her several times on her head and other parts of her body. The complainant was rushed to hospital, where she was admitted in a serious condition. Investigations are ongoing. Police charged one of 5 alleged robbers caught on video. One of 5 men who were allegedly caught on video robbing a bar has been slapped with several charges in relation to the incident, which took place on Wednesday, March 27. He has been identified as a 37-year-old Leo Foster of Grosmont District in St. Elizabeth. Foster is charged with possession of a prohibited weapon, 3 counts of robbery, using a firearm to commit a felony, and unlawful wounding. According to the police, on Friday, April 12, lawmen were on an operation in the area when they were confronted by one of the robbers, who was then fatally shot. The police said Foster, who was also in the area, was later arrested after he was identified from the video and taken into custody, where charges were laid against him following a question and answer session. No animosity towards a former House clerk, says Senate President. Senate President Tom Tavares Finson has sought to clarify why he did not recommend a further extension for former clerk to the Houses of Parliament Valerie Curtis. Ms. Curtis demitted office on April 6 following a reprimand from the House Speaker Juliet Holness over her handling of reports from the Auditor General's department. Senator Tavares Finson said the Houses of Parliament require expertise, which may bring it in line with the era of advanced technology and digitization.
Because I was of the view that the Parliament needs a new and more progressive approach to the administration in relation to matters of technology. For example, I was surprised to know that the software that was being used by the Parliament for all of these years was bootlegged. So we need a new approach in the Parliament. But because I did not recommend her extension does not mean that I have an animus towards her. It simply means that I'm interested in the administration of the Parliament. It is unfortunate that this matter has been so politicized, and I think that people need to step back and allow the new management of Parliament the opportunity to move forward with the business of the country. And it is important to point out, because a person works with an organization for many years, in this particular instance over 30 years, does not mean that that person is beyond reproach if there is an infraction that the presiding officer is of the view warrants such a reprimand. Long service is something that we admire and we recognize, but it does not put a person beyond reproach. That does not work in the public sector, nor does it work in the private sector. Now that said, I know that the Speaker and the former clerk do not have a poisonous relationship.
In the meantime, Mr. Tavares Vincent said it is important to note that the Clerk of the Houses of Parliament is not designated as a civil servant according to convention or the Constitution of Jamaica. He said it must be noted that the clerk reports to the Speaker and the President of the Senate, who the Jamaican Constitution says is the presiding officer who has the discretion of recommending the clerk to the Governor General for appointment. Medical doctor arrested in Klansman gang probe to be charged. Deputy Commissioner of Police Fitz Bailey says the popular medical doctor arrested in connection with alleged ties to the Klansman gang will be charged within the next 24 hours. DCP Bailey confirmed that the 65-year-old doctor, who practices in the Yonge Street area of Spanish Town, was pointed out in an identification parade on Wednesday. He will be processed and the formal charges laid later on today or tomorrow, said the senior cop. He said the medical doctor should be charged under the Criminal Justice Suppression of Criminal Organizations Act for provision of services made to the criminal underworld. 22 alleged members of the Klansman gang have already been arrested and are currently before the Home Circuit Court. Those defendants, along with alleged gang leader Tesher Miller, are to return to court on Thursday. The accused men, who are charged under the Criminal Justice Suppression of Criminal Organizations Act, commonly called the anti-gang legislation, are alleged to have participated in several criminal activities between August 5, 2017 and August 22, 2022 in St. Catherine as alleged members of the Klansman gang. The charges against them include murder, conspiracy to murder, attempted murder, robbery with aggravation, illegal possession of firearm, and illegal possession of ammunition.
On reasonable suspicion of breach of the Criminal Justice Suppression of Criminal Organization Act, his arrest emanated from the ongoing investigation into the Tesher Miller-led fraction of this Klans gang regarding provision of services made to the criminal underworld. He appeared on an ID parade today and was pointed out by 2 witnesses. He will be processed and the formal charges laid later on today or tomorrow.
More than $200 million in counterfeit goods seized at a store in St. Ann. Members of the Counterterrorism and Organized Crime Investigation Branch on Wednesday seized more than $200 million worth of counterfeit goods in Oteria, St. Ann. Deputy Superintendent Victor Barrett, head of CTOC's Intellectual Property Unit, told the news that CTOC detectives carried out the raid Wednesday afternoon at a plaza in St. Ann as part of CTOC's crackdown on counterfeit goods flooding the island.
At this establishment, we discovered a large quantity of counterfeit Crocs, Nike, Puma, Gucci, Supreme, and other host of brands. The estimated value of these goods this morning is about 250 million Jamaican dollars. And I mean 250 million Jamaican dollars. There is a huge warehouse behind me that is filled with counterfeit goods in all shape and manner. I often stress and maintain that buying counterfeit goods is a bad thing. It is bad in many ways. It doesn't help the country, reputation. So it gives our country, Jamaica, a bad image, where persons might see Jamaica as a dumping ground for counterfeit goods. Secondly, the goods may be of inferior quality and they may be harmful to your health. And lastly but not least, funds may flow into organized crime, and these criminals use the funds to create mayhem in our country.